Good morning, traders. My morning recap, real quick here. My trades, I had two trades I put on, and I was having serious toss issues right at the beginning, so I checked my winning trades really quick. Toss was really acting up this morning, and I saw in a matter of just a couple minutes over $1,000 gain in Tesla just completely obliterate and go negative by 500, and so I was really quite upset to start the year off with. So, but everything worked out for me. Some things I was looking at here over the weekend, and what concerned me, we had this massive rally in the NQs, uh, the end of day Friday, and that's not atypical. But we're here at range highs in the markets going into a new year, and once I saw this expanded range because of the way the volumes hit the market Friday, that was actually a red flag for me. I didn't, it wasn't a really nice tight range for the Qs. It was an expanded range, and that's what really it's not really supportive on a daily time frame. So Friday's action was not a strong support to leap off of this morning, despite the fact we did. Okay, and also the developing via point of control for Friday, it did not migrate up with price as of Friday close. So we had this big gap up in the markets, but I was keeping this in the back of my head. The situation was going on with the Qs that they might dump the Qs on the open. Okay. And I didn't let that interfere with my trading, but I was being quite aware of the situation with Mark calling out some very strong bullish calls in some tech in Tesla. So, and Tesla kind of trades at a disconnect versus the indices. Wait a minute here. The second one, which is the growth area, that's the Russell. Now it was more supportive, so wouldn't you know it, everything's going on today. Okay, on the Ruddy, it was a more tighter, compact range there Friday, well, it'll be Tuesday. So that was more supportive of prices. But you see what happened? They gapped it up and they're just completely taken to the woodshed. So the Qs really gave me that tell that they could easily dump this market on any type of market strength. Let's see here. Ready. Oh, I got two of these. Where am I here? Slash yes. Okay, and then on our ES futures, we were opening up, gapping up to above weekly value on that one too. And this one here was a little bit more elongated versus uh, uh, what happened was it was elongated and we were above, the value area was not migrating with price into the close, in my opinion. So that was just something I was keeping on close watch, thinking that there was a decent chance for a sell-off today, in which it seems like we are getting that. They're selling the pop on the markets. Okay, Tesla saw a nice, really good upgrade this morning, which we talked about in the room. Upgraded to 515. So I thought there was a really good chance that we were going to get to the next resistance, the VPOC of 430. Now, this is not a developing VPOC. This is a value for our week. It's more likely when you're outside of a VPOC, like last week, to retest to get a driving pressure for the retest of that VPOC than to actually move back into value for the week. It's a higher odds trade in that situation when you're using these market webs. I hope you understand that. But I had bought the 430 calls right out of the gate, thinking we would get a rally up and touch the 430, which we did not do. So that was a red flag. And then also we were already up almost 20% on Tesla in the past 30 days. So that's another red flag. I was considering the Qs being potentially a sell signal with the 20%, but I thought we were going to get a touch of the 430s today, and I made some really good money on it, but that did not happen. So just keep this on your watch going further out here on Tesla. And then we have Disney. That was my first trade of the day. Right out of the gate, I took Disney to the long side. We had this downward trend line. We've been bull flagging out, and we were breaking out of that trend line right out of the gate this morning. And so I was keeping a close eye on that one. My target, I had an alert set for it to try to get a little bit of responsive selling, and I got down here right on near the literally back tested that trend line this morning, and I bought in right down here and managed to ride it all the way back up to this. This is one of those situations where it's the VPOC had never been tested before on the upside, and we rallied right back to that. So I managed to hold Disney for the entire trading range from VPOC to VPOC. So it really worked out really good for me on Disney. Those are only two trades I took, but I also looked at AMD this morning, and I had mentioned AMD is closely linked to the Qs, and I had mentioned the elongated pattern in the Qs, and it concerned me. Well, so I saw AMD. It was above my VPOC, and I thought I went and had an alert set earlier. If we back tested it, then I was going to potentially enter it, depending on the markets. So, but we never got the back test, so I passed on AMD, despite the fact it's holding out very good here. And then Apple, that was another one called out in the room. This one here, I had mentioned the Qs being elongated. Well, this here just had all kinds of trouble, in my opinion, written all over it if the markets decided to roll over and fall out of bed. There's just way too much open space here. This is a trade that I wouldn't, based on my trading analysis, would never take to the long side. I'm glad it worked out for people, but this is not in my realm of things. Signet was I had the order set and running, but I didn't fill, and I was trying to get 2050 puts, and it just completely ran away from me, and I didn't fill, and I was trying to fill at 20 cents, and the last time I looked on those 20 puts, 2050 puts, they're $2. They're about $2.10, something like that. And I was trying to fill for 20 cents a contract. That just gives you an idea just how big of a move that Signet had. Only 10 contracts. The open interest on Signet was so small that you had to go in smaller size if you were wanting to take this trade, and instead of, you couldn't go hundreds and thousands of contracts for that because the open interest was so low. And then Roku, I had that one on my watch. I have this as a more chart. It's down almost 15% over the past 30 days on Roku, and they are selling. The markets had one hell of a month in December, but yet they continue to sell Roku off. And so this is and we are down below the uptrend line on Roku. So despite the fact it's going to have good news, investors are taking money off the table here. And so when we rallied up today into this VPOC, which has been tested once before, I mean, this is the area I was looking for a shorting, and which right now I'd be breaking even on that trade if I had taken it. So that's just something I'm looking on Roku. And then Alibaba was my final one that I was looking at this morning. And the main reason I didn't take this trade is I just think it got way too far away from us here. I mean, we were way above the trading. We were already above, on our weekly trading range for Baba right out of the gate this morning. I had mentioned that I had a slight bearish to the markets. I wanted to be more conservative. I didn't want to buy anything that was trading above the weekly value to the long side today, just in case um, my bias was right and they just completely dumped the crap out of the markets on January 1st of the year. But had a really good day, really, really good day. Actually, better than any day in December. So I called it quits for the day, and I'm just going to reload tomorrow. Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.